Hello friends, this is Chandrakant from Akul Mac Technologies and welcome to TopBrass. Let me also welcome my friend from UK on this bright Monday morning, Mr. Naval Gone.
Well, I don't know about bright Monday morning, but hello CK, hi everybody. It's chilly here, winter's coming. So just in a matter of days, we've gone from a heat wave to about 14 degrees. That's 1-4, not 40. So hopefully it won't be chilly in your offices today. So now's the time to sort of brush off those summer drolls and get out there and really revitalise your organisation. But what's new in the world today? What's new in India, CK?
Well, I think this is a month of August and usually kids used to go to school, and because of COVID, the kids are still at home. They are not going to school, they are studying online. So I think that is where there is some development with regard to online study medium in India. But what do you feel about that? You know, I'm sure in UK as well, student must be going to school in August.
Well, they've just started to go to school in Scotland. First day back, I believe, is today. And they'll be going back to school in England and Wales and Northern Ireland in the next week or so. And it's interesting, really. I mean, young people need that camaraderie. They need that network of friends for their social development, if not for their academic development. And they've missed it, frankly. I mean, we built up a brilliant relationship over Zoom because we've never actually physically met. But I look forward to that day when we do meet. But we're adults, we've asked each other those difficult questions over Zoom, perhaps, that no one would normally answer. But kids are black and white, It's a yes-no arena for children. And they do need that comfort blanket of meeting up with their mates. And school is that brilliant place where they can do that on a regular basis. So they've missed out. They're missing out big time. I just hope that once they do start to go back into school, they adopt the simple things, wash your hands, a little bit of social distancing, although with young people, there's not the fear, the threat of the real problems that COVID have got for adults or people that have got respiratory problems. So, it's going to be an interesting time. But I think on balance in the UK, the Chief Medical Advisor said that it's far better off children go to school than are kept away from school, because I think of this social connectivity that we're all missing. So it's sad that India hasn't gone back to school. But like anything else, we can offer our help. Akumac, MindFit, YP2G can offer our help with teachers out there that really want to help that social interaction get going, because we're all about attitude change and soft skill development between us. So there's great opportunity if they want to reach out, and we're more than happy to help them along the way.
In fact, going to school for kids is very essential because it's an overall development, and they meet their mates, they fight with them, they have friends, they have best friends, and then they breakups and those kind of things. So I think it is part of learning, and we are able to talk conveniently because we have gone through that experience. So I think it's important for kids. Unfortunately, we are not open yet. The graph in India is not flattening. It is still going up. Almost every day, 60,000 new COVID patients are getting added to the tally, and India became the third country to cross 3 million COVID mark. Although recovery rate is also highest in the world, it is 72%. However, India being a highly populous country, I don't think the COVID is going to come in control quickly here. So I think it's better that the kids stay at home. But this has created an opportunity. There are online players who have gotten a school certificate, school education certificate from Government of India, from the Education Department. And
Okay.
now some of these big guys are offering uh, same level of education, and you can buy, as a parent, you can go to their website and buy these courses. And for every class, there is a separate price list, and you can buy an annual program. And the best part is that you can have a teacher also training you, and you can select what teacher you want. And suppose you don't want the teacher, you can deselect and find another one. So they have a set online e-learning mechanism which is based on the standard subjects, and they also have the teachers, which is the operational side of it, and they're bringing it all through the net. And the cost of this kind of education is almost like 1/10 of a private school. So that is something innovative things that are coming up in India.
Well, it's not surprising that other people are entering the marketplace because, unfortunately, schools are closed. So that camaraderie that you as a parent and I as a parent would want our child to have, we pay extra for that. There is the state school arena and there's the private school arena. If you can afford it, then my choice would be 99.9% of the time, send your child to a private school. But that's my personal choice. And clearly, therefore, the online now has opened up to an economic model. Let's not make too much about this, really. Education, there is a cost of education. Some people can see it as a profit center. These private schools see it as a profit center. They may not be seeing mega profits, but the point is that they do see a profit. Otherwise, they can't stay in business. Education, whether it's run by the government or run by the private sector, is a business. And frankly, in this arena, I think we're seeing a change, an opportunity where those that couldn't afford the private education, as you say, it's 1/10 of the price. And it's great to be taught by really good teachers that your child chooses. I mean, the interesting thing is, you take your child to school and you don't have a choice of teachers. The teachers are there. So this is a whole new avenue that's opening up. As whether it's got legs, as we call it, whether it will be the way going forward. In some respects, it doesn't really matter because people are trying new things, and you and I are all for people doing things, maybe doing things differently and getting hopefully better results. Of course, if we're going to do this and we don't get better results, then we better stop doing it pretty quick, and get after what we're really in the education world. We're on about improvement, but betterment of the individual, not making money out of the individual. That's very much secondary. The irony here is, of course, if someone's really improving and lots more people are improving, guess what? More people will come to you. It'll be like that electromagnet that you've just turned on and you've increased the power, and all of a sudden people come to you because you're getting a better result. So I'm all in favour of this. Frankly, a lot of people would say, oh no, that's not a right way to go. Education should be free. We've got to do something different now because unfortunately, as India's found, schools are closed. So we need to get schools open. If that means virtual open with more entertainment online, better education as a result, because kids love watching TV, don't they? They love they love laughing at the TV, and the daft thing is that whilst they're looking at these things, they are actually learning something. Quite what they're learning, we don't know until you ask them the question. But we all learn something from watching the TV.
Yeah, they do. And the best part of this system is that the teachers are not getting employed by the platform. And the way it is working is that the teachers have to record their a video, a private video of how they teach the children in an online arena, send it to them. They will review, and if they like, they will give a call. If they don't like, don't bother to even contact them. So it has become like that. It is so competitive for teachers. And
Well,
then,
I suppose, but in some respects, is that a bad thing or is it a good thing? I mean, what it means is that we're recognizing that education now is far more than throwing things at young people and saying, here's some knowledge, I'm going to throw it at you, I'm going to explain it in this way and in that way, and eventually you'll understand it. That's what happened to me at school, and it was a way that was acceptable then. Is it acceptable for the 21st century? I don't think so. There must be a better way. All of the we need to be progressing. I mean, you have GCSEs, you have the equivalent of O levels that we have over here, and I ask maths, because my specialism was maths and economics. I ask maths teachers quite regularly, has education improved so that at 16, when you sit these exams, you're more advanced? And the answer is no, we're still teaching the same things at the same age. And I've just got a question, whether that's right, whether we need to be teaching all of those same things again. Now, for instance, does a hairdresser need to have calculus? And the question is, well, what's the reason for calculus? What is it about that? Because around the world, they say you must have maths, you must have English, and you must have a science. We need to be asking the question, why? What is it in there that is so important for everybody going forward?
well,
A bit of a bit academic for the morning, especially a Monday morning. So maybe we shouldn't go down that route. But go on.
I can quickly one sentence reply is that this kind of maths and science people or the students study in the school in the younger O level, as you said, or the middle school here in India, is really the uh, information required to live life. It's a physical science. So, if somebody doesn't know how to do simple math, they'll be a total failure, even as a hairdresser.
I totally agree with that, and we are focusing on maths because it is such an important part. But what is it as a physical science that we need to live a full life? Well, we need to know how to budget, how to live within our means, how to forecast, how to save, how to fill out a tax return. But they're not learning how to fill out a tax return.
Yeah.
They're learning how to do calculus. So I just have a question, maybe for all you mathematics teachers out there, is there something we can do within the curriculum that has got far more meaning for someone going forward? So in other words, we have elements of a maths O level, which are absolutely everyone's got to do. But rather than doing calculus, maybe we do tax returns. Rather than doing simultaneous equations, we might do budgeting, And maybe we're saying, this is a financial element of maths that's coming in. Well, yeah, probably is. Maybe we need to have a financial course or a life skills course that everyone has to do. That includes, how to run a budget, how to build a relationship with people, even over the digital airwaves, what's going to be important for your future. It's an interesting challenge to the educationalists out there, but we've had months of COVID. I'm sure someone somewhere is thinking about this. And certainly if we're not thinking about it in the education arena, the private sector will be thinking about it. Believe you me, I've seen it already.
Yeah, so the next step is once the teachers are registered as online teachers in these platforms, then there'll be a rating system. And then as a student, say for example, a parent buy the package, annual package, then they can see all the teachers and then they can search what they are looking for in a teacher, um, attitude or education, rating,
Yeah,
all.
yeah. TripAdvisor, you know, I like this hotel because I like this teacher because I didn't like that shop because we are in this world of I'm going to value you. I'm going to have my say about you. It was bound to happen. You know, we've become used to it. You know, Amazon, did you like the book? Tick, yes. Cross, no. Here's a book we can recommend. You know, you can imagine, you know, did you like this teacher? Here's another teacher we could recommend.
Yeah.
I'm laughing about it, but yeah, the fact is that's what's going to happen. Do we want that to happen? Is that the way we want to go with education? I'm not
Well,
sure the answer, to be honest.
let me complete the last part. How teachers are going to make money or how they're going to get paid is that how many sessions they do. So it's basically their success is determined by how many students they have. So they can make millions or they can not make anything. So it's up to their ability, which was not the case earlier in the school.
No, it wasn't the case earlier, but equally, just because you like a teacher doesn't necessarily mean you're getting good grades, does it? There's an issue. So, you know, all of the popular teachers may not be getting, you know, the better grades, you know. Oh, I like that teacher because they're very softly spoken. They don't push me.
So you can change your teaching.
Exactly. No, I'm just saying, you know, like any system, there are real benefits and there's questionable issues regarding it. But it was bound to be the way, you know, vote for your teacher here. I mean, even in the professional world, you know, they have the Teacher of the Year award, you know, just like we have the Speaker of the Year award, SOTI, you know, because we love these type of competitions. And then we're in a different world. We're in a very different world today. But hopefully it's progression. If it's not progression, we need to nip these things in the bud and do it differently.
So I'm just wondering if this takes on because right now there are two players, and these two players will have early mover advantage, definitely. And the schools are now scared to ask for fees. So I think in our case, the school continues, the online arena continues, but moment they ask for the fee, we will, shift immediately because that is a better online mechanism. So we'll shift there. Now, if these platforms takes off, then the schools who are making millions of dollars here in India, they will have to find alternative business plans.
Well, I think what you hit the nail on the head here. I mean, this is about perceived value from parents. Let's say, I mean, what's the absolute number of kids in private school in India? Any idea? Just roughly? I mean, out of 1.4 billion people, of which 60% are under the age of 30. I mean, we can probably come up with a number.
Maybe 200 million, maybe 100 million.
I was going to say it's in the tens to hundreds of millions, and then the tens to hundreds of millions are really, this is a choice now. What the education establishment, what any small business needs to recognize, that this is a choice that someone's paying you over and above the system that's sitting out there, the state system. They want value. They want you to deliver the best education for their son or daughter. And under those circumstances, you're in a different arena. This is not about education value. This is about value for money. And that is a very big step from what is the value of education to a child, you know? And whether I'm going to pay, you know, 100,000 rupees a year or 400,000 rupees a year, that's a 300,000 rupee increase. That's now I'm thinking, can I afford that? Is that a value? What am I getting for it? You know,
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's
I,
the question.
it is the question. I'm not a great believer in that in education, as you well know, but there are points where everyone will be in, and I will be in the same situation. You know, if I had very young kids, you know, that were in the education system today, I would be looking at, is my child getting a good education?
So let me explain a little bit more. Just few more sentences, Neville.
Sure.
See, the education is absolutely free. It's been made absolutely free and standardized from this year across India. I have informed you about this earlier also.
Yeah.
So all that course is available in a portal which is run by Government of India. All these different businesses are doing is getting that free course, packaging it, and then offering it to people, and for that they are charging it. So if you don't want to send your kid to a school, you can jolly well go to the Government of India website and access all the course
Yep.
for free.
Yep.
So
And so, in many respects, what they've done is they've got the raw material, they've packaged it in a very clever way, let's say, but more importantly, they're giving you a coach and they're letting you choose the coach, which we would call a teacher. So, is that capitalism in a good way, or is it capitalism in a bad way? In some respects, it's good because, like anything else, and you know, most government schemes are not brilliant. Let's face it, around the world, are they? Someone's packaged it up better, and then they're offering something else. You know, that's why we've got so many accountants around the world. You know, you have to have an accountant. So you, as an SME owner, choose the accountant you go to. Their training, the quality of what they do, your tax return is going to be very similar from one accountant to the next. But you're paying for the relationship with that accountant. So should education be the same? I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. I've got itchy fingers on this particular one. Because, as you said, you know, our belief, your belief, my belief, education should be free, free for all. Everyone has the opportunity. The best teachers, you know, and we need to pay the teachers to be the best. I think education is we're on a tipping point here. I hadn't heard of the Indian model being looked from a capitalist arena until you and I started to talk. Is that the way forward? One might ask, you know?
well, that's a question, but I'm just waiting for now the price war to happen between these platforms. So there are going to be more, and gradually, the price will crash, and who knows, it'll become free in future.
Well, you see, the interesting thing is, I mean, you immediately, as that SME owner, you're in the price war. You know, I mean, you've got two young kids, and it's in your interest to have the best teachers for for a fair price. But we're in the fair price arena as opposed to what's the best education. And I think those two questions are very different. Um, and the jury's out. So we'll see. I don't think we would have been here without COVID. So we can thank COVID for another thing, you know, challenging the way we do things. Will that make it better? Who knows? Time will tell. And the worst thing about that is it's going to be a long time before it will tell. And sadly, the part about this is we're looking at a generation that might suffer. Because if we make the wrong decisions here, and the ability of these young people is diminished because of the wrong decision, then we're going backwards, and that's not fair to them. So we need to really make sure we're getting this right.
You have a point, Neville. My father was never looked after by his parents so closely as we were looked after. And my father and mother, I mean, they were not so protective when they were
Yep.
growing up. So they were doing
Yep.
things very early on, and they became independent very early on. I mean, my dad was in hostel at the age of 12 or 13. You know, he was able to leave the house, and he was studying out of hostel. And but whereas I stayed in my parents' house till the age of 22, and I was protected, but I was still not protected as the current generation. If the I mean, the kids have to go down for cycling, the parents have to go down with them. They have to probably cycle with them. They have to play with them. Whereas in my generation, my parents were not watching for that 2 hours for that play time. They were doing their own things, and they have given this time. This is your 2 hours. Go and do whatever you want. So we were doing all kind of things. So we were learning. So I think what you're making a point is relevant, is a very relevant, but I think we are all losing it as generations are passing.
Well, again, society has a lot to do with this. The changing arena in society. When I was a kid, our back door was always open, and people would literally walk in off the street. Kids would walk in, neighbours would walk in. If you needed a cup of sugar, you went next door,
Right.
or you ran out of milk. I mean, that was the society I was brought up in.
Right.
Is it the same society today? Well, in some areas it is, because that's how they've maintained those, I suppose, that trust, those values. But in other areas it's not. So the environment is changing. The question is, are we overcompensating?
Time will tell, as you said.
Time will tell. Anyway, it's always a pleasure speaking with you. Such a deep discussion on a Monday morning. But I hope everyone's enjoyed it. Maybe it's got them to think about their particular situation, because that's important. It's not about anybody else, it's about you. So make the best decisions, get the most out of life. And good luck for the rest of the week.
Thank you very much, Neville, and you have a nice day. We'll catch up tomorrow again.
Cheerio.
Bye-bye.